Hey there, Drew here, and welcome back to the Drew Saur coaching channel. If this is your first time here, thanks for joining us. This channel is for those of us who want to have stellar careers with a little less stress and, if we can, a bit more fun. My job is to bring you ideas that help you look at your career in a new way. I promise that if you try them out, you'll start to see the professional world differently. And more importantly, they'll start to see you differently. So this video is part of my series on strategic thinking and prioritization. Because ultimately, there are a million different things you could do in any one time. So the question we're trying to answer here is, do I know where to go first? But what I want to talk about today is being good at your job in the context of career growth, and why that's not always a great thing. Now, don't get me wrong, right? You have to be good at your job. That's table stakes. You need to do that on a baseline, but I want you to think about it today in the context of trying to get to the next level. So how do promotions and advancements really work? Well, a lot of people find a sponsor. And what does that mean? That means that you're really good at your job, you're knocking it out of the park, people are really happy with what you're doing, and somebody more senior to you sees the potential, right? They say, you know, this person can do even more, and I'm gonna give them a shot. So they put you in a bigger role, and they see how you do, right? So what does that require? That requires somebody to see your potential, and it requires them to take a certain amount of risk, because I'm saying that I see the potential with you, so I'm gonna put that in, and if you fail, well, it's a little bit on me because I'm the one who thought you could do it, right? And what you find is the bigger the role, the more significant the risk is, right? So if you're a developer becoming a senior developer, an analyst becoming a senior analyst, yeah, I'll put you in that role, because what happens if you can't do it? Right? Nothing too serious. Put you in a managerial role. What happens if that doesn't work? Well, I'm gonna just probably move you back to a single contributor, right? So the risk and the challenges aren't too big. But if you think about, if you're the head of a division, right, and that's a bad choice, well, we could lose our product lead, we could lose lots of money. There are lots of bigger, more significant consequences that could go wrong at that level, right? And so what you'll find is as you go up through your career, there's less and less of people plucking you out of something that you can do and putting you in something totally new based on their belief, solely on their belief that you can do it, right? And this is particularly true once you get to the director level, going to VP, SVP, and above. So that strategy, which is great if you can find it, also relies on somebody else. So what I want to talk about is, well, what about the things that you can drive? And what I want you to think about is the next level is a different job. So if you are amazing at your job, that does not mean you're going to be good at the next job. So what is your task? Your task is to be good at your job, but that's not really your focus. Your focus is, how do I demonstrate that I'm good at the next job, right? Is that a broader horizon? Is that more strategic? Is that bigger budgets? Is that more leadership and influence across the organization? There are different things that are required at the next level, and that's where you want to spend a lot of your sort of mental time and strategy from a time management perspective in terms of where you spend your day, right? It doesn't have to be 50% or even 30%. Spending 10 to 15% of your time trying to place yourself in that next level role will make a huge difference. Because then, again, what are people looking for? Well, you're good at your job. That's awesome. You fix problems. That's awesome. Well, I have a problem over here. I'm going to take you, I'm going to say, hey, go fix that. When you're done with that, I'm going to say, that's great. Here's another problem. Go fix that. And you're so good at what you do that I'm just using you again and again at the thing that you're really good at. The trick, of course, is that's not what you want to do. You want to get to the next level. You want to be the VP. You want to be the SVP. So you need to take a little time out of your day and start to figure out, how can I show these people, my boss, my peers, the other executives, that I'm performing at that next level. And unfortunately, it doesn't just happen organically unless you have that magic sponsor. You typically have to go out of your way to figure out, how do I take what I'm doing today and reframe it in a way that looks more significant, more influential? How can I change it in a way that will show that I'm actually performing at that next level? So what happens if you don't do this? You stick with the, I'm good at my job, I deliver, everybody thinks I'm awesome, therefore I'm going to get promoted. And as I said, the more you go up, the less chance that's going to happen, right? And so if you want to take control of your career, you really need to drive that perception that you are already operating at the next level. So how do you do that? Again, pick a project, pick an effort, pick something that you do, and you say, how would I do this versus how would my boss do this, or how would the person at the next level do that? What can I change so that the way I'm approaching this looks more like the way they're going to approach it. Simple example. Oftentimes when I talk to people, they're typically directors, right? They're the get it done person, right? They know how to do it. If I give it to you, you're going to take care of it. What does the executive do? The executive doesn't take care of it. The executive puts together the team that's going to take care of it, right? So how do you start to transition? Don't put your name behind it. Don't show how you are taking care of it. Show how you are bringing the right people together and giving them the opportunity to solve it. Highlight the people that you're working with, highlight the junior staff and show their contribution and talk about how you put together the team. It's a very simple example of, did you do it or did you put together the team that did it? And if you put together the team that did it, that's more in line with how a typical executive would do it. So that's an example, but pick something that you do and see if you can shift it. See if you can reframe it so it comes across more along the lines of the role that you want, not the role that you have. So try it out. Let me know in the comments how it goes. And as always, growing your career is a journey. You can rope in a friend, you can hire a coach, but it helps to have a partner. If you have any interest in working with me, you can go to drewsaur.com, schedule some time for us to chat. I look forward to seeing you next time.